It was 4:03 a.m. when the thunderous crash of a battering ram shattered the silence inside the modest brick home on the edge of a quiet Atlanta suburb. David Carter, a 52-year-old Black Navy veteran, was yanked out of sleep by the chaos erupting at his front door. As the frame splintered and boots stormed in, barking commands filled the air. Flashlights flickered wildly across the walls, momentarily blinding him as he stumbled out of bed in nothing but a t-shirt and sweats. "Hands where we can see them," screamed an officer, his rifle aimed dead center at David's chest. Disoriented but trained by decades of military discipline, David complied, slowly raising his hands. But then, amid the shouting and confusion, one officer hesitated. His flashlight had landed on a framed photograph near the front hallway. David in full Navy SEAL gear, flanked by his squad in Afghanistan. Right beneath it, on a coat rack, hung David's worn and faded Navy SEAL's jacket, its insignia clearly visible. The energy in the room shifted instantly. Several officers exchanged glances, the aggression suddenly tapering into awkward uncertainty. "Wait," one murmured, lowering his weapon slightly. "He's military." Another cop stepped forward, gently patting David down, no longer with the urgency of a dangerous suspect, but with the caution of someone who just realized they might have made a terrible mistake. A supervisor radioed in, her voice now hushed. Within minutes, the tension broke entirely. "There's been a mistake," she finally admitted. "They were at the wrong house. A warrant intended for a different address 2 blocks away had been erroneously executed on a decorated veteran's home." David, still shaking with adrenaline, stood silently in his living room now, swarming with apologetic officers who suddenly didn't know where to look. "Sir, we're sorry," one muttered, clearly rattled. But David said nothing. He walked over, picked up his SEAL's jacket, and slowly slipped it on, his silent way of reclaiming his dignity. "You kicked in the door of a man who fought for this country," he finally said, voice low and firm. "At least show me enough respect to fix what you broke." The officers left not long after, their retreat marked by a painful awareness of the image they'd walked into and the man they'd underestimated. In the stillness that followed, David sat on his couch, the dawn just beginning to rise, reminding him that even after all his service, sometimes it took a jacket and a photo on the wall to remind others of who he really was.